Welcome back to Self-Built. I know this is one that I talked about and it's taken a minute to make, but it is finally here. Well, here it is. Ta-da! I'm going to show you how this attaches to your bench, how to make it, and how to come by it. I didn't use any welding, any metal tools, or anything like that. Just a few simple tools, a saw, duct tape, and a razor blade. That was it. Very simple tools. Oh, and a measuring tape too. But yes, very easy to make, and I'll show you what this looks like bare bones. Show you how it works, how it sets up, how everything looks, a couple tips and tricks. This works for leg extensions and also hamstrings. So let's get into it. This is what this looks like bare bones. Before I got to it, I just got one of these old leg extensions you can find on almost every home gym. It's kind of a secret because you already get all the hard work done for you. You don't have to do any metal work, no welding or anything like that. And it's already basically got everything you need. It's even got a little spot for the cable to attach to, so you can attach it down low. And believe it or not, this will actually fit into your bench seat. That's one of the big reasons I wanted a removable leg holder, whatever you call it. I wanted to have it removable so that way I can put stuff in it like this, because at a home gym it's incredibly hard to have a leg extension or a leg curl machine without actually going out and buying one. So let me show you how I transformed it from this to what I showed you before. But really quick, the problem that you'll run into if you just use this old form is these foam pads. Holy cow, they don't protect you at all. When you have any weight on here at all, your shins go right through this thing. Whether your legs or your shins, like, oh my gosh, it's bad. It's like your bones are just on metal. So what I had to do was, I'm like, okay, let's beef these things up so you can actually put some weight on here and then see what it feels like. So let me show you what the end result looks like. These little bad boys, you just make 4 of them. This is made out of PVC pipe, pool noodles, and duct tape. It sounds completely hilarious, but it works so good. It takes all of like the weight out from hitting your bones. It just feels like you're normally at the gym, like the padding doesn't fail you. You can just keep cranking it out. And to look for like a non-permanent way to just see if it even works is I just wanted to be able to slide it over here, over the foam, and it works beautifully, just like that. It's like a little glove, and it's so easy. You just make 4 of these. I will show you how to make those a little bit later. First, I'm going to show you what it looks like set up to the bench, and then when you set it up to a cable machine, and then I'm going to show you a couple tips and tricks, things to look out for, just to get the most out of this leg extension or leg curl machine. Okay, first thing is, if you don't have this exact bench, you have to have one that can go up. This one's up 20 degrees, and then it's got an opening here. This is a 2-inch opening, 2x2, just if you're curious. This is, it's about 1 3/4, so there's plenty of room to work with. And there's a little pull pin you need to pull down so it'll slide in. This goes just like that. And if you look to the side, there's a little spot right here that there's a hole. And I did have a bolt, but I went back to the place that I got this. I got this from my dad's gym. He hasn't really been using the leg extension, and I remember using it as a kid. So I mean, it's way old. So I was like, hey, can I have this? And it came with one of these little bolt bobs. So I'll just poke it through. And the cool thing about it is there's a lot of pre-drilled holes for you. So all that work's already done. And that way, it's nice and secure, not going anywhere. Okay, the next step is, after you've got this set up, I'll finish putting these things on here later, but that cable that we were talking about, so there's a little, well, you can't even see it, get out of the way. So this little bolt, I mean, you can just drill through. I was originally going to drill through and put like an eye bolt, something to attach to, but this was already there, so it saved me some work. So you want this cable to run And I use this to be like a temporary thing, but it actually works pretty good. I've got a little anchor here that this guy is going to bolt to. Let me attach that real quick. We got it bolted now. A small tip is I do recommend, sorry, my voice is a little, I'm kind of getting over a little sickness. I do recommend getting a tight fit pulley that won't let the cable slide in between here. Just makes it nice so when you're doing reps, you're not having to worry about the cable sliding out. So we've got that attached. The reason being is when you got your cable coming from behind you, as your leg is going up, you don't want the cable to be going up as well and dragging and messing up your cushions or anything like that. So I wanted to keep the cable down, and that way it'll keep constant tension too. All right, so we're gonna pull the cable through, just like that. Have it come over here, and then we will attach it to our floor pulley. We've now got that attached. So let's go backwards. So we've got a pulley, low pulley, that we're attaching to. And we're having the pulley go to the pulley on the bench. And then we're having that all connected there. You can see how that is attached, just so it won't go anywhere. Those holes are already pre-drilled into this bench. And then you want to have this set as high as it'll go, which is 20 degrees. And for this setup, if you're doing leg extensions, I like to just have it somewhat at an incline, not straight up, not straight down, and I'll show you what it looks like. It's kind of a funny camera angle, but I'm just trying to show you the best I can. So all you'll do is just kind of put one foot in at a time, just like so. And if you want it to not get any resistance and come out earlier, just push the bench back a little bit. And then as you sit, there won't be any weight as far as making it so it won't slide. And what I'll do is I'll scooch forward just a little bit. This is where you kind of have to adjust yourself to your own body type and what feels good, because I like to scoot down because my legs are a little bit longer. And then just bring your legs up like so, just like that. Let me get you a different angle. Well, the problem we run into is my gym is very small, so it's hard to get a good camera angle. But I'm sitting on it, you can't really see it. But I'm gonna be lifting my legs out. And let's see. Are you able to see? I can't even see. Wait, in the mirror. Okay, yeah, look right there. See, I am doing something. There's a weight moving. Now, obviously there's no weight really on here, but yeah, I'll usually do like, I think it's like 55 to 65 pounds. I'll just go nice and slow and easy. Typically I'll do it after a couple big exercises, but you can do it however you want, whatever weight you want. I'm just testing it out. I've been doing it for about 2 months and it's worked really well. Very surprised. Here's another little angle for you, so you can kind of see it working. And when you're doing a ton of weight, these things, since the foam on the inside goes to about here, it will start to slightly tilt in just because there's nothing here to keep it out. I've never had any issue with it, but something you could do is just get a longer piece of metal so you can have more foam in here. And I would just do a pool noodle just to fill up some space. But that is something you may run into if you're doing a lot of weight. Okay, here's one more attempt to see if you can see everything at the same time. Okay, next is going to be the setup for the leg curl. As you can tell, I've already placed this to just a flat. And what you do is you'll scoot this forward a little bit because you need to get your feet behind here. And this also goes with just find what's comfortable for you. But I'll scoot it up quite a bit to where I have my kneecap right under the pad. So that way I can apply a lot of pressure. And I'm not going to be laying straight down, and I'm not going to be standing. It's somewhere in the middle. I'm basically just holding myself up. So I will be right at this angle. just like this. So right now there's no stress or anything, but if you can see, I'm leaning forward and the bottom pad is about a foot out from the top one, just to give you a little bit of reference. And I'll lean forward on this, and then you can just curl your leg up. And I mean, you can only do one leg at a time, but it's really nice because then you can just switch back and forth real quick, however you want to do it, alternate, or just crank some out and then do the other leg. So I definitely like this setup a lot too. There is one thing to keep in mind though. When you're doing heavier weight, you need to put weight on the bench so it doesn't slide as you're pulling. Because when I didn't do it at first, I was like pulling and I'm like, whoa! So that kind of messes things up. Even with the rubber flooring and with the feet of this being rubber, you still need to put a little bit of weight on here. I'll end up doing 2 45s and some kettlebells on top just to be sure. And then also my body weight. I mean, I just don't want it to slide. I'm probably overdoing it, but I don't care at this point. I just want it to not move. Have some peace of mind so that way you can crank out some heavy reps, get some good growth in there, and just have some fun with it. So that is the setup for the leg curls. And just to give you a reference, look at how loose I have the cable. That way you can really get behind here before it tightens up. Because this is how it looks. It's way out there. But if you're leaning over, it feels really good. So you can get a full stretch, full range of motion, and it feels really good. So that is that. If you have any questions on it, any concerns, let me know. This is just my idea of how to add a leg extension and a leg curl. It's been working really good. And then you just obviously add more weight to whatever cable way that you're doing this. And then now I will show you how to build these sweet little foam, mega foams is what we can call them. I'm sure you can use any type of saw to get this pipe cut, but if you want an easy, quick way, just use a chop saw or a miter saw, whatever you want to call it. And it goes through it like cheese. There it is. Ooh. We've got our 10-inch pipes cut, so they're the right size that it'll slide over those foams. Now what we want to do is make this a little bit softer on those shins, and the secret technology for that is a pool noodle. Who'd have thought? I just got these from the dollar store. Although times are tough, so I think it's the $1.25 store. So, hey, gotta do what you gotta do. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut it about a 1/2 inch bigger than this, so it has a little bit of overlap. So that'll be 10.5 inches. I'm gonna cut it to the right size, and then I'm gonna split it open, and I'll show you what we do next. It's super easy to cut this, just any sort of straight edge will work, but we'll just poke a little hole right here. Get it started. There you go. Then all you're going to do is cut right down the center. And I've already done this because I've used this tube for a couple cuts. So I'm just going to copy same length. When you have these cut and slit down the middle, what you're essentially going to do is stretch it, open it up, and you're going to put it on the pipe. And what I like to do to help this adhere a little bit is I need something just to hold it a little bit until I have it all the way around and I can tape it up. Is I'll just use a little bit of duct tape and just do a sweet little design to hold it on there. I'm going to do this sticky side up. The trickiest part is just getting it started, but once you've got it holding itself on there, you're smooth sailing after that. Whoop. Get it right like that. And then you don't have to go crazy I'll have a pretty decent gap going on. It's just like I said before, just gotta hang on just enough so you're not fighting it too much when you're doing the final step. Just like that. Ta-da! Just like that. Then what we'll do, might be a little tricky doing it standing up. I'm usually sitting down while I'm doing this. So let's see if this works very well. But what you'll want to do is just kind of spread it open and have it just lay right on there. Try not to touch the tape too much. Might be a little difficult to not completely, but do what you can. Just open it up as you go, just like that. And you just kind of spread it. So we've got one piece, and you do that with the next two pieces. Okay, just do some final touches. It's not going to be 100% like a circle, but it's some sort of round shape. So hopefully that helped. This is the next step that you're going to go for. You can choose whatever color of noodle that you want. As far as the diameter of these noodles, I haven't even measured them, so let me see if I can help you guys out. They're on the thinner side. It's just barely over 2 inches as far as diameter. So if you're trying to get the exact same, because if you get a thicker one, it might be less, it might have a little, I don't know, it might just not fit as well. So there's one measurement for you. Then, next step, lots and lots of duct tape. This might be more helpful if I had a little bit thicker than 1 inch duct tape, but I've got a lot of it, and that's going to be the winner. This will help protect it, and it'll be more grippy. This does take a little bit more time, so I'll just fast forward it. That's it. That is one pad. So you just repeat the step 3 more times after this. And just to show you a little bit closer, when you tape it up, it does cover a lot of the cracks and everything. And I have used the other 2 pads for a couple months. There's been no sign of wearing or ripping or anything like that. This is a pretty good duct tape, so if you have a cheap one, you might run the risk of that, but you can always double layer it if you want, or use a better kind. So that is how you make a sweet little pad. A simple tip, after you cut your sections, I find it easier to slit it down the middle in each small section. You can absolutely do it when it's in the full noodle form, but I find it easier to just do it this way, so that way you're not worrying about it being too crooked, any wiggles or anything as you're going down, and you just go through it twice, just like that, and there you go, nice and easy. The type of pipe that I used, I just got at a local hardware store. It's meant for drains, apparently, but my top secret way of finding out the right size was I slid that little foam piece off the metal, and I just started poking it in holes. If you're wondering the diameter of this thing, it is right about 3.5 inches. So if you're questioning if you're gonna order stuff online, now you know the size, if yours is basically the same setup as mine. I did buy a little bit more than I needed. This is actually after I did all my cuts. This thing was about 8 feet. Was it 8 or 10 feet? I don't know. but it was way, way big. I'm not sure what I'm gonna use for it. It was like $4 more for 4 more feet or something. I was like, how do I say no? So I'm sure I'll make something else of this. This would be a sick gripping workout or something. But if you want the official measurement on the pipe itself, on the pipe it says it's just a 3-inch, and that's just the diameter. So if you're measuring like the sidewalls and all that, focus right there, 3-inch. Just if you're curious. That is the end of our video. I hope that helps you out, and I hope it gives you some ideas of how you can apply that to your own gym. So it is definitely possible for you to be able to make a leg extension and a leg hamstring curl machine for your own gym without being able to weld or anything like that. You may have to go to like a secondhand website where you can order, or just look around and see if there's an old gym equipment. You can pick those up for nothing. Or see if you've got a friend, or maybe your dad has one like mine. So look around and just see if you can find something like that. That's the hardest thing to find, and then you just slap on those mega pads and you're good to go. If you have any questions or issues, definitely leave a comment. I'll do my best to see what I can help you with. And if you like the video, definitely give it a like. You can also follow me on the Talk or the Gram. There'll be a description in the bottom below. You can also get some self-built merch. And we'll see you next time on Self Built.